Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Optic Scumpy, bringing you another Black Ops 2 gameplay commentary. Today, I have another sort of serious commentary topic picked out for you. Yesterday's wasn't, completely serious, but it was sort of serious. I mean, I meant to have fun with it, but obviously it was still a lesson that I underwent in my life and something that I did in my life that was meant for educational purposes and entertainment purposes. Obviously for some of my subscribers that are a little bit younger in age, but obviously my older subscribers have some stories of their own. But as you can see, this gameplay was a millennium ago, back in 2nd Prestige. Holy crap, it seems like it was just yesterday and this game just came out. But now we're on the first freaking DLC, so what do you know? But one thing that I saw one of my subscribers say in the comments section below, and I do read a lot of the comments. I don't get to every single comment. I mean, I'm not going to lie. But I do read a lot of them. And one of them I saw yesterday was, can you explain the class setup that you're using in every single video? Obviously, it's beneficial for me to say that so you guys can see what I'm using, see if you want to try it out, see what, you want to use. But the only thing that really changes with my classes is my attachments. And attachments are basically all preference. You want to emulate someone, but you don't want to emulate them to the point where it's messing up your game. You just got to do you, play you, and try and build on the things that, you have. Try and build on your skills, your abilities. My abilities are map awareness, and I have a decent shot. So whenever I go into a game, it's like, I'm going to use a silencer so they don't know where I am. I'm going to get into their spawn, and I'm going to utilize the silencer so that they can't pinpoint exactly where I am, and then use my shot to outshoot them every time that they get in a close gunfight with me. That's how I play. Some people don't play like that. Some people play more objective-minded, where you wouldn't need the silencer as much because you're hopping on flags, they know where you are anyway. It's just little things like that, but my perks pretty much stay the same: Flak Jacket, Ghost, Toughness, Scavenger, and usually Dexterity. That's basically what I use on every single one of my classes. So, do you. Don't really try to use what I'm using all the time. Obviously, you can try it out, see if you like it. But everyone has their different play styles and the way that they like to play the game. So don't let me, take over your whole way that you play the game. Just, do you, and that's that. But the commentary topic I have picked out is how the little things in life, the little decisions, little things can seem to bring out the biggest outcomes and the biggest things that happen in your life. And the first really good example I have of that comes from gaming. It was back last April, actually. Well, I guess 2 Aprils ago. Yeah, it's 2 Aprils ago. So not last April, not 2012's April, 2011's April. Holy crap, that was a mouthful. So 2011's April, I was on a team called Obey. I wasn't the best teammate. I was sort of a little dick. My teammates didn't like me. I didn't like my teammates because we weren't winning. I love them as people now. All the people on Obey, they're great people. But when I was playing back then, obviously I was a little bit younger. I was around 14, 15 years old, and I was a little obnoxious brat, and I didn't understand how good I really had it. And I was getting my flight paid for to Dallas. My mom was going to let me go with Obey, and, things were going to be great. Oh, man. And then basically what happened, I was a little dick. I told them, I was like, will you just please drop me? I was literally saying it, like being a little obnoxious, stubborn little asshole. And I was telling him that. So basically that happened. And then I wake up. I actually took a nap. I wake up hearing that I got dropped. And that was the most scary moment of my life. Like, I was like, I'm finally going to get to go to an MLG event. I'm finally going to get to meet some of these people because I'd never been to one previously to that. So remember that. And I ruined my chance. But thankfully, my good friend Bobby had connections with Leverage, and they needed a player, thank God. And I was the only player left, so they picked me up, and we went, and we ended up winning the event. But the really big thing about this whole story is that my mom was not going to let me go to the event. So she wasn't going to let me go and compete because of how, stupid I was being. I was being, ignorant. I wasn't thinking straight, and I almost made a huge mistake that would have costed me my career that I have now, like my, everything that I have now. But my mom ended up letting me go because of Bobby, so really everything is on him. Like, Bobby's my dude. I love him to death. He's my man. But that's just like an example of how small of a thing can affect such a big outcome. Because if I went with Obey and didn't win, would I be in the same spot now? But I went with Leverage and I won, and I stuck with Leverage, and that really was what got my name out there to be one of the top players. Like, I was just another player until then. But then whenever I joined Leverage and we won, people started to recognize my name. It was just crazy. Another example that I have for you guys is messing up my freshman year. So when I was in my freshman year, I thought that football was my distinct path. It was what I was going to do. It was just who I was. It was what I wanted to be. And I didn't try in school academically for my freshman year in high school. That completely boned me. If you're in 8th grade going into high school, do good your freshman year. Because that's the year that you're really going to be adapting to it, and that's the year that you're really going to, be settling into the high school lifestyle. So really, really try and do good your freshman year, and then the years after that will get easier and easier because you'll just grow accustomed to it. But so I fucked up my freshman year. I'm going to be real with you guys. I didn't do too well in school. I had like an 86 average, which is, it's a really low B, and I could have been doing so much better. I really could have, and I just didn't. I didn't want to do the work. I thought I was too cool. I would go to the gym every day, come home, not open my book bag, and just go to sleep. And that was so dumb because now I regret it because my grades since then have been absolutely phenomenal. And my whole GPA for my high school career or my high school, experience is lowered significantly because I screwed up my freshman year and I didn't take into account that it would reflect poorly on the rest of my years. So that's how I messed up. But then I started to get into the zone. I got into my scholarly stuff, and I brought my GPA all the way up to a 91 overall, which is pretty remarkable because it was like, 86 is hard to recover from whenever you do it for a whole year. And I brought it all the way up to a 91. So basically my GPA since then have been really, really high. So that's another thing, just small decisions that, affect such big things. Next thing, decided to get my capture card. Wasn't going to get one, but then I got encouraged by one of my teammates to get one and stream and get some content out there. Now look, I get 2,000 stream viewers every time I stream, absolutely unreal. I get to interact with a lot of different people every day, all because one teammate decided to tell me to get a capture card, and I thought highly of his opinion, and so I went through and I ended up getting the capture card, and then I started pushing out content like crazy. So the moral of the story is basically just little things, small decisions affect the biggest things, and it's really crazy that that's how things work. Because it's hard to imagine me doing anything else than what I'm doing now. Like, I couldn't imagine me staying with football and going to play football at college. It would just be ridiculous. It would be completely different, But I hope that you enjoyed this commentary, guys. If you did, make sure you leave a like. Favorite if you really enjoyed it. Comment, let me know what you thought, and subscribe if you haven't already. Sorry I had to rush. Peace.